Welcome to Module 8, Taking a Tobacco Use History. This is the Nicotine Cessation Program training session, and I'm Dr. Nicholas Pennings. Today we're going to be talking about how to take a tobacco history, and one of the things we focus on is the use of tobacco. What type of tobacco or nicotine is being used, whether it be cigarettes, cigars, chew, hookah, e-cigarettes, and how much they use and when they first use them. So how much is in cigarettes is measured in the number of cigarettes or packs. 20 cigarettes equals 1 pack per day. Chew is usually measured in terms of cans, and pipe is measured in terms of bowls each day. Hookah would be similar. First use is important because it is a measure of the severity of addiction. History of use, at what age did someone start using tobacco? This is important because the earlier people start using tobacco, the more physically addicted they become. Most tobacco use begins in the early to late teens, but many smokers begin in their early teens, sometimes even in their preteen years. They start smoking, and those smokers are typically, or nicotine users are typically much more physically addicted. The years of use, when we look at cigarettes in particular, we look at the number of cigarettes that are smoked and the number of years that they smoked, and calculate what we call pack years, the number of packs per day times the number of years an individual has smoked. And why this is significant is when someone reaches 30 pack years, so 1 pack a day for 30 years or 2 packs a day for 15 years, once they reach that 30 pack year or go beyond that, their risk for cancer, for heart disease, for stroke go up dramatically. When does an individual have their first cigarette? As I mentioned, this is a measure of the severity of an addiction and actually helps us tailor the choice of nicotine replacement and the amount of nicotine replacement. Those that smoke within 30 minutes of getting up are much more likely to be strongly physically addicted and need a higher dose of nicotine replacement. Nocturnal smoking is also a sign of strong physical addiction. So those people who wake up in the middle of the night and have a cigarette are individuals who tend to have a very strong physical addiction. Some of the tobacco triggers to look at when we're looking at use patterns include what is it that makes them light up? Is it stress? Is it anxiety? Is it boredom, anger, or depression? Are mood factors that influence smoking, or situational factors that trigger smoking? Drinking alcohol, driving, having a break at school, perhaps completing a task, having a cup of coffee, having a break at work, eating, or bedtime are common triggers for people to use some form of tobacco. Ambivalence is an important thing to recognize, that individuals have pros and cons about smoking. So some of the things that tobacco users like about tobacco, it helps them to feel calmer. It may be creating a sense of reward, making them more focused, helps reduce hunger. They might like the way it tastes. They might use it as a means to overcome stress, or it's just part of a daily routine that they've used for a long period of time. But at the same token, there are things that they dislike about using tobacco. They may dislike the taste. They may find frustrated that they feel shaky without it. They may be frustrated by the cost. Cigarettes run in North Carolina, a brand name cigarette runs over $5 a pack per day. In New York, that can be upwards of $12 or more a pack a day. So cigarette smoking can be very expensive. On top of that, the Affordable Care Act now allows employers to charge a premium for smokers on their monthly health care premium. So they can attach a surcharge of up to 50% of their premium costs to smokers, and that's an added financial deterrent for smoking. Many people find it inconvenience having to go outside to smoke, or not being able to smoke in many environments now, which has been a great stride to help make it more inconvenient to smoke, which helps to helps make it easier for people to quit because of that inconvenience, and also protecting individuals from secondhand smoke. There's a social stigma associated with smoking, and that social stigma is becoming stronger, and that too can be a motivating factor for people to help quit it. Smoking, family stress, pressure from family members, and particularly children, can be a strong motivating factor and create strong dislikes about smoking. Many parents are concerned about the impact of their smoking that will have on their children, and rightfully so, because the children of smokers are 50% more likely to become smokers themselves. There are many barriers that smokers need to overcome when it comes to quitting smoking, and it helps to identify those barriers and work on strategies to overcome those barriers. So if a household member also smokes, that makes it harder for an individual to quit because of the ready availability of cigarettes and seeing other people smoking. Work stress may pose a barrier, as well as some social barriers. If they spend time around friends or others who are smokers, if they go to places where people often smoke, that creates certain barriers for making it harder to quit smoking. A fear of weight gain is a big concern in many smokers, and weight gain is a big concern with quitting smoking, and so that may be a major concern for the client who's trying to quit smoking. And fear of failure. Many people are very black and white about matters, and they are fearful of trying something and not succeeding. They often become very hard on themselves and very disappointed in themselves, and that can make them not even want to try. So why does an individual want to quit smoking? Identifying what their intrinsic motivation to quit is very important. There are hundreds of reasons why people can want to quit smoking, but what's going to be most important is why that individual wants to quit smoking. That's going to be their driving force, and you want to identify what that is. Sometimes it's logical reasons. They don't want to spend the money on it because of the high cost of smoking, or they're concerned about the long-term health risks, and sometimes it's an emotional reason. It's something that's happened, something that's created a fear, a sentinel event. May have happened to them that they've ended up in the hospital with chest pain, or had an abnormal x-ray, or found a lump on their body that they were concerned was cancer, or they know somebody who was diagnosed with cancer or heart disease or emphysema, and they don't want it to happen to them. So this could be a very strong emotional factor. And emotional factors become very powerful to help people quit smoking, because when people relapse, it's not usually because they've come up with some logical reason to start smoking again. It's some emotional event that has triggered them to want to light up a cigarette, and identifying what their emotional reasons why they don't want to smoke can be a powerful anchor to help them work through those cravings. Past quit attempts are important. How many times have they attempted to quit? That is significant. When was their most recent attempt? And what were the triggers that led to relapse in their past experiences? What did they learn from that experience? And what could they do differently next time is important. What past quit aids have they used? Have they used nicotine replacement or Chantix or bupropion? Did they work? Or was it really just a matter of either a wrong method or the wrong time? Sometimes it's not the method that's the problem, is they just weren't ready. And what are they interested in trying now? Assessing their support is important. Who supports their decision to quit? Support is a key part of success. Does their spouse support them? Do friends support them? Do family members support them? You want them to encourage to seek out and utilize that support to help improve their chances of success. And they should make their efforts public. Some people hide their efforts to quit smoking. The more they make it public, the more committed they tend to be, because nobody wants to tell everybody that they're quitting smoking and then not succeed. So that ups the bar and ups the level of commitment to quitting smoking. And lastly, it's you, the support coach, that plays an important role in assessing support and providing support to that individual. They need to know that it's important that they contact their support coach when they are struggling with quitting smoking. Talking to your support coach is is fine when things are going well, but it's most important when you're having challenges, and you want to be there to help them work through those challenges.